Okay, guys, so Candace Owens, there's a big hubbub online right now about her. She didn't know Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine. So white liberals online basically saying, well, the Marines aren't all that because Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine. And even though Memorial Day is not about Marines, it's about servicemen who died in battle, who paid the ultimate cost, who gave their life. Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by a man named Jack Rubenstein after Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated a man named John F. Kennedy. So he wasn't killed in battle. So I don't know why white liberals are using Lee Harvey Oswald's military status as a Marine to disparage the need for Memorial Day. But anyway, they're also attacking Candace Owens because she stood up for him. She didn't know. She thought it was a photoshopped image. She thought the image going around of Lee Harvey Oswald in a Marine uniform was photoshopped. So she was wrong there. She's getting dragged by white liberals. And they're saying she's married to a white supremacist. But Kamala's not married to a white supremacist, right? Doug Emhoff isn't a white supremacist because he's woke, right? Doug Emhoff wants less black police in black neighborhoods, right? He wants critical race theory taught in kindergarten, right? So Doug Emhoff is all right. He don't be a white supremacist like Candace Owens' husband. And what about AOC's boyfriend? The man that she's engaged to marry. Is he a white supremacist? AOC is literally engaged to Napoleon Dynamite. And I haven't heard that she's engaged to a white supremacist. Okay? Haven't heard that. And they're starting to take your terms, black people, that you use online. That's why I was so disappointed when we started calling each other these slave names, bed wenches, buck dancers, and stuff like that. Because I knew it was only a matter of time before your liberal white buddies would start using them. And it's basically like, now it's like, all right, we won't say the N-word, but we'll call you everything else. You know, the black community, they like calling you a buck dancer if you're not a liberal. If you're not a bleeding heart liberal, like a bleeding heart, you can't just be a regular liberal when you black. You gotta be like a bleeding heart liberal. Like, everything's on the table. Like, if kids in kindergarten want to transition, I'm for it. If, you know what I'm saying? No police, no prisons, just anarchy all over the place. If you not with all that stuff, see, white, you can be a liberal, a little liberal, but then you could be like, not in my neighborhood, NIMBY, not in my neighborhood. You'd be like, nah, take that stuff somewhere else. We don't want that stuff in our neighborhood.
A shelter on Billionaires Row. Right now, the former Park Savoy Hotel on 58th Street is being renovated for a shelter to house 140 homeless men. But residents in that area are pointing to a city report showing there were 672 arrests at homeless shelters in the first 3 months of this year. Today, they called for a moratorium on new shelters until additional safety measures are put in place.
Density of population in this building is not appropriate.
The city is trying to cover up the numbers. First, they changed the categories of what is a serious incident.
The Department of Homeless Services says 56 security cameras have been installed. There is also supposed to be a 10 p.m. curfew for the shelter residents.
So 56 cameras installed and a 10 p.m. curfew is not enough for these upper crust white liberals in New York City to allow the same homeless shelters that have been in black communities, in disadvantaged communities, in communities of color for decades to come to their neighborhood. And they're the main advocates for this. Let all the crazy people out of jail onto the street. Because it's inhumane to have them in jail. It's inhumane to have them in mental institutions. Let them free. Okay, cool. We're going to move them into your neighborhood. Whoa, what? Look, we'll install 56 cameras in one building, around one building. So that the outside of that building, every square inch of that building is surveilled. They have a 10 o'clock curfew. Whoa, what? Nah. We out in the streets protesting. So these white liberals that are online calling you a buck dancer and a coon, they're not even as liberal as you are. They preach you liberalism, but they won't go that far as you go, you idiot Wakandans. They're very conservative when this crap comes to their doorstep.
Billionaires Row. Right now, the former Park Savoy Hotel on 58th Street is being renovated for a shelter to house 140 homeless men. But residents in that area are pointing to a city report showing there were 672 arrests at homeless shelters in the first 3 months of this year. Today, they called for a moratorium on new shelters until additional safety measures are put in place.
Density of population in this building is not appropriate.
The city is trying to cover up the numbers. First, they changed the categories of what is a serious incident.
The Department of Homeless Services says 56 security cameras have been installed. There is also supposed to be a 10 p.m. curfew for the shelter residents.
So, yeah, Tracy. Can I keep my black card by being liberal, but just your kind of liberal? The pick and choose kind of liberal? Do I have to be the bleeding heart liberal that you expect black people to be? And let me chime in on this Naomi Osaka thing, just because I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of sports videos like I used to. Naomi Osaka sucks on clay courts. Her sister already said she didn't want to hear the media questioning her about why she plays so terrible on clay courts. She's a spectacular player on hard courts, which is why she never pulled this mental health stuff during the U.S. Open or the Australian Open. She's terrible on clay courts and grass courts, which is why she'll be having mental health issues during Wimbledon too. Because that's a grass court. This has nothing to do with mental health issues. This is the fact that she's horrible on clay and grass. And she doesn't want to hear about it from the media. So first she tried to say, I don't want to take any questions from the media. Then she just withdrew from the whole tournament, which she was going to lose very soon, and she wasn't going to make it to the quarterfinals or the semifinals. She's going to lose in the early rounds because an average clay court player will mop the floor with her because she sucks. She's not just bad on clay court, she sucks. Okay? So that's my thoughts on that. This is all a big sham. It's not even the soft millennials. This is a con game she's running. And ever since she started dating that rapper, I may do a longer video on this, but ever since she started dating that rapper, she's been the biggest turd. She's been worse than Serena. Just a turdish liberal woman. Naomi Osaka. I liked her better before she started dating that rapper and becoming a Black Lives Matter activist. So this guy on this white liberal on Twitter, the Jewish Ginger Resistor. That's his name, the Jewish Ginger Resistor. So algorithm, that's just his name. He says, wait until MAGA sellout Candace Owens finds out Lee Harvey Oswald was actually in the armed forces and it's not photoshopped. I would pay good money to watch her reaction. I really would enjoy watching her find out she's actually black. Far more, though. She seems to be unaware. So, this is what black liberals have done, man. They've given white people and Jews in this situation carte blanche to call black people sellouts, to question their blackness if they're not bleeding heart conservatives. When, as I've showed you, that they're only liberals. They've gotten carte blanche to call black people sellouts and question their blackness if they're not bleeding heart liberals. When, in fact, I've shown you that these same white people are liberal as long as all the liberal BS comes in your neighborhood. Defund the police in your neighborhood, Negro, where 90% of the crime is. But we want more police in our neighborhood where there's only 10% of the crime. Okay? Lower the standards in the schools in your neighborhood. Grades don't matter. Test scores don't matter. All that stuff is racist. But then you go to their school system and shit. Everything's testing grades and achievement and advanced placement. Black liberals should be ashamed of themselves for falling for this ruse of accepting everything and being totally super liberal when these people are only liberal online. They conservatives. Try to bring some liberal crap to their neighborhood.